Thank you for listening today on Revealing Wholeness, sponsored by Infinity Whole Health. Check out our website at infinityWholeHealth.com, where we are revealing the eternal in each individual, the infinite in the individual. The creativity is made manifest. Limitation is let go. Now, here's your host, Dr. Troy Munson.
Hello and welcome. I'm Dr. Troy Munson on Revealing Wholeness, and this is Skin Month, so why not talk about acne? And, acne plagues how many people? I mean, lots of people. Do you know people with acne, Bill?
Oh, I know people. Yes, definitely.
I see lots, and I get questions about acne. I get questions about acne with adolescents. I get, questions with acne because of mask wearing now. Crazy stuff. I get acne questions with women with their cycles. Hey, around my period, my face breaks out. I don't like it. And do you have animals, Bill?
No, I don't.
You don't.
This time.
Have you had dogs or cats?
Oh, heavens, yes.
Okay, have you ever had a cat that scratched all the time?
Until we declawed him, yes.
Yeah.
We did, yeah.
Well, for those of you out there that don't realize that a lot of times your dogs and cats, this is related to acne, dogs and cats will scratch and have a lot of dermatitis when they have grains or, wheat, rice, who knows what they're going to put in their food as a filler. And so those fillers, those carbohydrates that are now as fillers in their food will inevitably come out their pores. And so they have a lot more sugar on their pores. And so little bacteria and things will live in their pores and just itch like no tomorrow and give them dermatitis. And so with my cat, it was really unusual. We totally gave it a raw food diet, and it literally licked its belly down to the skin, took all the hair off of it after we put it on the raw food diet for about 3 to 4 weeks. I figured it was detoxification. He obviously wasn't drawing blood and he wasn't in distress. He just was licking his belly constantly. And now, within like 2 months, it filled back in with the most beautiful hair and he didn't do it again. And he's been on a raw food diet now for probably 5 years. And I noticed he doesn't itch very much. I don't have any flea issues in the house because I used to have to bomb the house maybe every couple years. But I don't see any issues now with that. And the same thing goes for us humans. If we don't have a good diet and we're eating things that disturb us, we're going to have stuff and toxins come out of our skin that bacteria that are on our skin are going to live on. And if they do it well enough, we're going to get cysts and things like that, or acne and skin problems. So the first and foremost is to recognize that, hey, number one, there's probably some irritants in your diet, first and foremost. And for adolescents, for sure, I'm going to pick on wheat every single time. If you see stuff on your skin that you don't like, it likely is in your gut as well. And so know that if it's on the skin, it's in the gut pretty much 100% of the time. So if we're seeing things that we don't like on our skin, we have to start asking ourselves questions. What am I eating? What am I drawn to? What foods do I really love? What am I attracted to? It is oftentimes the foods that we crave, unfortunately, that will be the irritants to us. And so if that's you and you suspect a food irritation, you can upgrade that food, meaning do an organic source, do a more natural source, figure out what's in it, what's bothering you. If it's a complex food, meaning it's boxed, canned, processed food, then it's time to upgrade that. You might find, well, let me reproduce this food on my own and make it myself and see if it still causes me a problem. You may find that it doesn't, because it's more the garbage that the companies are putting into it to try to make the shelf life stay longer. But fresh food typically doesn't cause us a whole lot of problems. Now, that's not always the case, but that's a good rule of thumb. So what do we do now for the acne person? Let's say you change your diet. You're like, yeah, but I want this to clean up faster than that. Great. These are some things that are typical that I will do. Number one, I'm going to do high vitamin A and high vitamin C and not synthetic garbage. A lot of times, if you go to a medical doctor and you have acne, he's going to give you something like Accutane. And if you've heard my prior podcast, you've heard me talk about Accutane. I don't have a lot of joy with that particular product as a synthetic vitamin A, high dose. It tends to be very hard on kidneys that produces problems later on in life. So the question is, hey doc, I don't want to fix my diet and fix the problem. I just want to take a drug. Well, then maybe Accutane is your pill of choice. But ultimately, we would like to have you understand that you really do want to fix your diet, because that's the ultimate fix. Do you really just want to be on pills the rest of your life, or would you like to fix the problem? That's how I view things. So if you're going to do a high natural vitamin A, things like sweet potato, liver would be excellent, but most people aren't going to eat those things. That's why I do a product that has both vitamin A natural and vitamin C natural. And it has echinacea in it. So it's a great product for any kind of infections. Skin infections being acne, same thing. For women around their cycle where they have hormonal disturbances. Now we're getting into a bit different scenario. We're getting into things like hormone imbalances, and that's a job of the liver. The liver is trying to clean up our hormones all the time. It's trying to balance hormone levels in our blood. If hormones get activated in our blood, it's the liver that removes them to take them out of it. We don't just have a hormone that becomes active in our blood and we just keep it there. It has a certain job it's supposed to do, and then it's supposed to be taken out of the blood, and it's done doing that job. So it is the job of the liver to do that. So how would women know if they have liver issues that's causing their acne? They will likely tend towards a headache. They'll be a headache kind of person. They might tend towards nausea when they don't eat. And it would be especially morning. Now, if you're a woman that's been pregnant and you had really bad morning sickness, you have liver congestion. And so it's time to be nice to your liver and start to begin that process healing. And it's already behind, the gun, so to speak, because it's really already not real good at that point. And how many women have morning sickness out there? Many, to the point of vomiting. And so their body has this massive hormone dump because they're pregnant, and their liver can't keep up, and they feel really congested in the morning and really nauseous to the point of throwing up. So we end up trying to get more beets into that young lady's diet, and to try and help the liver begin to clean out and do some things. And don't throw away the greens of the beet. Eat the beet greens as well as beets. Do not overdo it, by the way. Start slow. 1/8 of a beet per meal would literally be plenty. A couple of leaves in a salad off a beet plant would be excellent. I planted so many beets, I have 2 that came up. I'm so bummed this year. I'm like, come on, beets. But anyways, you can pick those leaves and just keep the beets in the ground and keep eating the leaves in a salad. It's wonderful. So you can get that wonderful B vitamin called betaine off the beet leaves that helps thin bile channels within the liver, and now begin the liver to start healing and cleaning up its own act and repairing and healing itself. So that's how the mechanisms work. So let's say now that we've gone from adolescents and cycling women, and now we have the unusual mask wearer. And so they get the nice, mask acne thing all around their nose and their cheeks and all that kind of stuff because of the moisture that's sitting there. Now we have a detoxification thing yet again. I'm going to pick first and foremost on the liver, but I'm also going to pick again on your diet. And if you're concerned about getting some type of sickness or illness and you think you need to wear a mask and you feel like everybody else should wear them around you, you know what? You need to really start building your immune system so that you don't have to wear a mask nor try to demand other people to walk tippy-toe around you. You know what? If you're not going to take care of yourself, I believe the problem falls upon you to feel like crap and be sick all the time. But for myself, who takes care of myself, I don't really care if I wear a mask or not because I know I'm not going to get sick. It doesn't matter what you have, you can't get me sick. And I've talked about that on other podcasts, that it is impossible for you to get me sick. Now, if you want to inject me with arsenic and a poison, yes, you can kill the body just fine. But normal walking around, breathing our air like we've done for thousands of years, it doesn't make people sick. Well, then why did I get sick when my spouse was sick? Well, both of you likely have the same diet and the same stress and share the same mental habits, and therefore you succumb to the same physical ailments too, shockingly enough. But why is it when my kids and my spouse get sick, I do not? Well, I tend to eat a little better. I tend to take more supplements. I tend to really be conscious about what I'm thinking about and have only positive thoughts running around in my mind. The more negative thoughts you have, the more your immune system is degraded. That's been studied. Go out and review those things. So if you want to take care of your health, start thinking positive thoughts. But ultimately, let's start cleaning up your diet. Let's remove the sugar and the carbs and the inflammation and start putting things like vitamin A and vitamin C in the system and some zinc and start getting your body to come up into a nice, healthy, way about things, and it can adapt to its environment without being so weak. Imagine if we all walked around with masks. The moment, if masks actually did work, by the way, the moment we took them off, we would be instantly exposed to our entire environment, and we would pretty much be overwhelmed and probably die, because your immune system needs this constant input about, hey, how harsh is my environment? How strong do I need to be? And so if we remove everything from it, and it says, I don't have to do jack, your immune system is getting weaker and weaker and weaker, but that's not its design. It's designed to do these things and be well all the time and adapt to your environment every moment of every day, your entire life. That's how the immune system works. So a quick note, final thought, if you've never heard me say this, rats in a dump. If you have a brand new dumpster, are there any rats that are ever going to come to it if it just stays well painted, a nice brand new blue dumpster? There are never going to be any rats that go into that dumpster. Why? Because it's clean and spick and span. Now, imagine if we start throwing McDonald's in that, and boxed and canned processed food in that, and smoking and cigarettes and garbage in that. What are we going to soon have in that dumpster? We're going to have rats. Why are we going to have rats? Because they're coming to the dump, because that's their natural habitat, is a dirty environment. The same thing goes for the human body. Bugs, viruses, bacteria, funguses, protozoa, those all gravitate to their ideal habitat, which is diseased tissue and an unhealthy body. When you clean up your diet and clean up your body, those bugs are ejected because no longer is that environment right for them. It's not their natural habitat. And so like rats in a dump, if you have a dirty system, you will get bugs and get sick. If you don't, you won't. It is as simple as that. It is no more complicated than that. And masks don't matter one bit. And it doesn't matter how much you wear them or how many masks you wear. It will not keep you from being sick. Because if your body's already unhealthy, you're already sick. Now you're just waiting to catch the next thing that comes around. And so until next time, I hope that enlightens everybody and gives them a window into that kind of truth. But I'm Dr. Troy Munson on Revealing Wholeness.
Thanks for listening. If you have any questions or comments, you can reach Dr. Munson at 360-893-8586 or email him at chiroman@dr.com. That's chiroman@dr.com. Check out our current workshop schedule on Facebook at Infinity Whole Health.
The information on this podcast from Dr. Troy Munson is meant to educate the listener on a variety of health issues. It is not meant to diagnose or treat any conditions.